Welcome back, everyone! This is the final mission for my SPYxFAMILY speed paint. In this video, we are going to focus more on my artistic process, as I have covered the majority of my anime review. However, I do still have some opinions, so stick around until the end of the video where I will go over those, and let's get started. Every time I am understanding the layers a little bit more, I'm understanding what I'm doing a little bit more, but I'm constantly struggling in this piece to stick to the rules that I laid out for myself when starting this. I wanted a limited color palette, which did not include black. I wanted to have the line work be multicolored, but consistent. I'm trying so hard. My default is to do more detail. Hair. I love hair. It's so free-flowing and you can really do whatever you want. It's really, really fun to play with, but Yor doesn't have that complicated of hair, and I think her hair looks pretty good, but here, Thorn Princess, I'm going too much. I'm doing too much. I do really love that shoulder, though. Gosh, that was fun. I'm gonna do skin more like that in the near future. Anyway, I'm going to have to go back in and erase some of the work that I'm doing here. It is not working in my favor. Thorn Princess's skin is probably my favorite out of all of the characters in this piece. I'm going to start doing my skin more like that, but probably implementing that in my personal works, which I have been ignoring right now because I'm trying to produce content for you all, and I know you're gonna love the anime ones, and I'm not so sure if you're gonna love my original content. So if that is something that you're interested in, I'd love to hear about that. If you could comment below, and if I can have your consenting permission to do that, I will by all means go ahead and crank some of those out for you. For the time being, we're working on this. So, digital art is cool in what you can do with blending modes and the layer modes, and I've been working in it for, I think this is my, 12th piece that I've done in Photoshop this year. And from just the last few tutorial videos that I've watched, I don't know anything about this program. You can do so many more things than I'm doing with it. I mean, I shouldn't say that I don't know anything about this program. I just know that there's a lot more I could learn. Trial and error is good, experimenting is good, playing around, multiple copies. It's important to save multiple copies of your artwork if you're trying new things, because you might get to the end of it and hate it. So there's always that threat, but really, it's impossible. There's not a single artist out there who loves everything that they've done. There's nobody. I mean, I struggle with liking anything that I've done. Other people see it and they're like, oh wow, that's really good. You're so talented. One, I don't like being called talented. I mean, I like it, but it doesn't reflect to me how many hours and how difficult it actually is to do art. I've dedicated my life to art, and I am nowhere near the skill level that I want to be when I'm, let's say, 80, whatever. I'm gonna do this till I die. I just want people to see it and appreciate the fact that I've spent a really long time, a lot of hours, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of horrible critiques, a lot of just study. You can never stop studying to be able to do what I do. And I'm not saying that I'm the best artist. I don't think there's nobody's the best artist. Everybody does their own little thing, and that's really cool. You have to find how you separate yourself from everyone else. In this instance, I'm trying to see what that is for me in digital media. I know what it is in watercolor, but I am at a point in my life where I am experimenting. I don't know what my style is. I don't know what I want my style to be. I mean, in my education, I tried to emulate certain artists. The Art Nouveau period is especially admirable to me. I love Alphonse Mucha. Norman Rockwell does skin really beautifully. There are a ton of artists that I've copied. I've even copied some Van Gogh pieces. And when I use the word copy, what I really am meaning to say is master copying. It's a study where you look at people who are considered experts and you try to figure out how they did what they did. And in college, it was a combination of me doing that as well as me trying to remove my foundation as an anime fan, remove the evidence of that from my drawing style. I was trying to be more objective and realistic and really just focus on anatomy and value and all of those things. But now what I'm left with is a really, really generic way that I draw females and humans. I have a completely different style for how I draw animals, and arguably it's actually a lot better. I'm more skilled at drawing animals because they're a little bit more subjective. They're a little bit more organic because of the fur, and people are the normal person is less skilled at identifying one dog from another dog. If it's the same breed, as long as you get the features down, beagles have this kind of ear and this kind of nose and these kind of paws and this kind of tail. As long as you do the thing, it'll read as a beagle. Now, if you draw a generic beagle as a pet portrait that's commissioned by someone, their owner is obviously going to be able to tell the difference. So you're going to have to go a little deeper than that. You're going to need to go into specific detail. The distance between the eyes, the color of the coat in exact spots, I forgot where I'm going with this. But I want to have a unique quality about my artwork that I do when I'm pulling things out of my head that is different from how I'm currently doing it. How am I going to achieve that? I'm going to, and I've already done a lot of this work, collect a bunch of images from artists that I find online, on Pinterest, on Instagram, artists that I like aspects of whatever it is that I like out of their work. I like the hair, I like the eyes, I like the way they do the skin, I like the teeth, I like the color palettes, the line work, anything. And I'm going to open up a whole bunch of tabs on my desktop, and I'm gonna put 15, 20 pictures in front of me, and I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna try to pull aspects from this and that and this and that, and I'm gonna make some kind of combination of all of them and try different combinations, and it'll take me a while and it'll take me a lot of practice, but I'll finally land on my style, how I draw things. And it's going to be unique to me because nobody else is picking that combination of things, and I'm doing exactly what my eye identifies as aesthetically pleasing. So when we get to that point, the next step is how I'm going to be rendering these things. Probably going to have to be in a lot of personal work, because this right here, when I'm doing fan art, I think my goal is simply to recreate what the anime actually looks like so that people can have a unique piece of art that is immediately identifiable and looks just like the characters that they know and love. In this piece, I'm not achieving that. I don't know if you can tell. I don't like this piece, you guys. It's just, I look at it, it doesn't look like I drew it. It's so weird. It's really surreal working on this and pulling out occasionally and being like, what? That doesn't look like I drew it. Like Lloyd's face right now, that's Shaina's default guy. That's Shaina's default guy. If I'm doing a thumbnail, if I'm doing just a quick whatever, that's how I draw guys. And it's really boring. And it doesn't look like Lloyd. I got the hair, got the colors, whatever. It's not right. I will end up drawing this face quite a few times, so that's gonna be in the real near future here. But it's okay. And you guys out there, you might actually enjoy this piece. This might be the first of my pieces that you've ever seen, and you might be like, what are you talking about? This is really nice. I hold myself to a different standard than I hold anyone else to, really, which is, I think, true for all artists. Okay, this is the pacing mentally of how I go through a piece of art. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm collecting information, visual information. Literally, I'm just putting all these pictures in my head, and then I thumbnail it. I start with if I want it to be horizontal or vertical, or if I want to be breaking the frame or completely contained in the frame, and I experiment with the shapes. Not so much like what the actual characters are gonna look like. I'm just playing around with shapes. And then the next process is I am getting the anatomy down. And that's what you see in my rough sketches, my first drawing of the characters. And then the next step is to draw them more accurately. So I go back over and I fine tune and I tighten and I fine tune and I tighten. And to be quite honest, in this drawing, I skipped the anatomy phase for everyone but Anya. Why did I do that? Because I had already drawn my thumbnail and I decided that that was adequate. when blowing it up. That was incorrect. That was a bad move on my part. I was excited in moving forward, and I did not stop to pay attention to anatomy. And that, my friends, is why you are seeing me draw these characters over and over again. What do people think of this anime? Rotten Tomatoes loved it. ING loved it. As of 2019, when the show dropped, manga sales surpassed 17 million copies. So I'd say it's pretty popular. That's right. At your local convention, expect to see a lot of Yor and Anya forgers, definitely. Why is this anime bad? Let's get this out of the way. Harsh critique is coming. The overall storyline of SPYxFAMILY is not very intricate. It has child-level concepts as far as what you need to understand from the plot and characters. There's little to no character development, as Anya, Lloyd, and Yor continue to be the same mentally, emotionally, and with motivations as they were from when we were introduced to them as characters. You will not require much brain work in this show. SPYxFAMILY also seems to have a very slow pacing. Plot progress is at a snail's pace. Apart from the character introduction, not much has happened yet as far as Operation Strix goes. I'm not sure that this show will ever get to the meat of its story with the way things are going now. That being said, this is season 1 and the anime is still in its infant stage, so I will happily eat my words if that changes in the near future. Why is this anime good? Animated by Wit Studio and Cloverworks, who also brought us Promised Neverland and a pretty obscure show. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Attack on Titan? Yeah. The animation is good. Music is good. The concept is unique. We will probably be seeing this family creation with hidden identities concept become more popular as a subject matter for anime in the near future as other people try to capitalize on SPYxFAMILY's popularity. Some of the aspects I listed in the negative review here become positive. Characters are easy to understand. The story is to the point and is given to us in the flavor of a family sitcom. It's enjoyable to watch, funny, lighthearted, and family-friendly. All that being said, let's be honest here. Why is this show good? It's Anya. Come on now. When will the manga and show be over with? When's the story done? Well, as of 2022, Tatsuya Endo, writer and illustrator, is still releasing the manga, which is, as of yet, unfinished. Based on SPYxFAMILY's popularity, I think it's safe to say that the story will continue for the next couple years. Will we continue to see more anime? Season 2 is being simulcast, released in October, and as of this video, is still airing. I couldn't find any information about a contract for Season 2, but as long as this show keeps up what it's rocking, we have a long and beautiful relationship ahead of us. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. Thank you. With the background, I wanted it to be a little bit more like the manga covers, flat color, and though I did spend about 3 hours playing with paint and sponging a whole bunch of pretty colors together, I didn't end up using them. It was a waste of time. It wasn't a waste. I actually have done this before, and I know that I do it. I started a Tokyo Revengers piece that you guys will not see because I got about 40% into it and realized that it was too static of an image, so I scrapped it. But I spent probably 4 hours on a sunset, and it was really pretty. But it was too realistic looking, and it was too colorful, and it ruined the artwork. So what I guess I'm getting at is, when I'm doing my style, when I'm doing my personal stuff, I'm gonna be a lot more painterly. Again, I'm reining myself in to try and get this to feel more like anime. Because guess what? It's anime! Yeah. Lloyd looks stoned right now. He looks so dumb. I will end up going into, here's a little secret, everybody. I've already painted this, so I can see into the future. But I end up going on a completely different project file and drawing him again because when I'm trying to draw a line on top of this line, I'm confusing myself because I'm seeing and going off of what was already there. And that's incorrect. That is an incorrect form that I do not want to be replicating. So here, there you go. That is what I ended up drawing on a separate file, and then I brought it in here and I resized it, and we're gonna give this a go again. Now that we are reaching the conclusion of this fan art piece, I'd like to review what I've learned. In this project, I learned that using masks on your layers is a much more effective way to fill space in a designated area versus using the tool paint bucket, which gives you jagged edges that you have to go in and erase. I learned that clipping layers to the masked layer allows me to render within the designated space without leaving that space, nor having to go spend time erasing images. I also learned that masking layers allow you to work non-destructively so that you can erase areas of the image without permanently removing them. Highly useful. And finally, I have learned that I have not defined my own personal style to apply to my fan art pieces and will therefore be reverting to trying to emulate the artistic style of said anime that I am replicating. As I mentioned, we are always trying to get better. We are always practicing. We are always self-critiquing. If we do not self-critique, we will not get better. You have to approach your art with the eye of someone else. Be as objective as you can and make sure that you find at least one thing that in your next piece you can make better. I want to commend you, Agent, on your aptitude of performing this mission. A job well done indeed. I hope you enjoyed my time lapse. If you would like to support my artistic growth, please like this video and share it with your fellow anime fans. If you missed part 1 of my speed paint, you can click this to watch that video now. And if you'd like to watch more of my speed paint, I recommend you watch this video. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Shaina Ashley, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.